I'm Jen Benoit, Communication Specialist with Clatsop County. I visited the Clatsop County Get Ready event sponsored by Northwest Natural and the City of Seaside, where I spoke to local preparedness experts to find out what they do in the community for disaster preparedness and what survival item they could not live without in an emergency. Some of them might surprise you. I started my conversation with Jen Munson, and then I recruited her to do some interviews too.
So my name is Jen Munson. I am the Clatsop County Emergency Management Community Engagement Coordinator. So we're doing events like this to help folks get more prepared for the next emergency or weather event. And we have lots of great ideas and resources and equipment. So I do events like this in the community, in various places and in various micro communities, and it's a lot of fun.
Tell me a little bit about the Get Ready event.
Yeah, so the Get Ready event is a partnership with Clatsop County, City of Seaside, and Northwest Natural. And this is kind of a fun event. It's a beautiful time of year to kind of explore resources and ideas, equipment that help prepare families for unfortunate events, so disasters and emergencies.
My name is Mike Nealon. I am the Clatsop County Readiness Coordinator, and I work for emergency management within the county.
Okay, well, what does that mean?
So I'm one of the emergency managers who thinks constantly about disasters and how it affects the community and our county. When a disaster happens, everybody thinks they can call 911, but during a big disaster, you're pretty much going to kind of be on your own for a little while until everything stabilizes. And this fair shows you how to do that and be prepared so that you can keep your family safe for a while.
Mike, what is your number one preparedness item that you would not want to be in an emergency without?
I think number one is definitely going to be water. You can live without food, but water is going to be the big one. I'm also partial to ham radio for communications. I think, one, to know what's going on in your community, but two, being able to reach out to talk to other people has a good common effect to know that there are others out there when you're feeling alone. So between those two, you can flip a coin.
Great. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.
I'm Charlene Larson, and today I'm representing Oregon VOAD, which is Oregon Volunteer Organizations Active in Disaster. So locally, I represent Lutheran Disaster Response through Peace First Lutheran Church and the Oregon Synod of the ELCA Disaster and Climate Resilience Team and the Multiple District of Oregon and Northern California Lions Disaster Response. Oh, wow. So I've been involved since 2007 when here in Clatsop County we had the Great Coastal Gale. So involved in disaster preparedness and disaster recovery.
What about that event got you involved?
The Oregon VOAD leadership reached out to me and said, you know a lot of people in Clatsop County. I was working at the time for the Clatsop County Sheriff's Office, and they said, let's bring everybody together because you're going to be about 3 years in recovery from that Great Coastal Gale, so we need to have everyone around the table. Oh, wow. So that's what we did, and formed up a long-term recovery team, and exactly 3 years later, we finished the last house. So it was a declared emergency, and there was FEMA funding for individual assistance and public assistance, and then all the organizations who help came together to do that.
Oh, great.
So that kind of evolves into why we're here today, being prepared, get ready, because you don't know when you might have that next coastal gale.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about the table that you've got today.
Well, it represents not only Clatsop County and prepare in a year, 1 month at a time, but also the Lions Club and their efforts in disaster recovery around the world as an international organization. We're going to put a couple examples of what's on your bucket list and put the buckets together and what should be in a bucket for grab and go. and also grab and go bags, what should be in those, and how to do things in small bites rather than be overwhelmed.
So, Charlene, what is your favorite preparedness item that you would not want to be in an emergency without?
My coffee kit. I use a hard eyeglass case. In my coffee case is my coffee and cream and sugar and a stir.
Oh my goodness.
And so I'm all ready.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm actually a little surprised about the coffee kit.
Are you?
That's your number one.
No, that's right.
Thank you.
My name is Jeff Gilbert. I'm the Regional Emergency Coordinator for the Office of Resilience and Emergency Management with the Department of Human Services here in the state of Oregon.
And what do you do?
I get the responsibility for mass care, ESF 6, Emergency Support Function 6, across the 12 Northwest counties of Oregon.
What does that look like?
Anytime there is an issue that impacts a county or a local situation, like a city, municipality, where folks would need to be provided with social services, sheltering, feeding, water, any type of medical support outside of OHA, basic needs, recovery from a disaster, a fire, an earthquake. That would be the responsibility of the Department of Human Services. And within that very large state agency, our emergency response then is quick to get to a location, assess the needs, make contact with the folks that are there. And we spend a lot of time working with emergency managers, district managers, local community-based organizations, for-profit, nonprofit organizations to kind of establish plans of if a disaster were to occur, who's going to be responding, what is that going to look like, where are the supplies going to come. And so we do a lot of training, a lot of conversations like that in the quote-unquote off-season when we don't have emergencies. Here locally, we spend a lot of time getting prepared for a Cascadia subduction earthquake. But there's also dry well circumstances that end up happening. Justin Gibbs, the emergency manager here in Clatsop, he asked for our assistance to provide water for a couple different communities whose well had faltered. And so we provided ongoing water support for that group. During really intense heat storms and ice storms, we end up providing a lot of food support. And if shelters need additional assistance, our staff physically comes out and provide assistance to make sure that those shelters are open. We really support the Department of Emergency Management's 2-week Ready program, which is a really great program. The more that people can be prepared, the less the state will have to respond to those particular individuals. And we can focus then on folks that really do need that great assistance.
Yeah.
Knowing that a Cascadia event, it would take a couple weeks for FEMA, U.S. military to really come and establish a great presence. The more people that we can have in that 2-week period of time that are prepared and ready, then those folks won't be in peril.
Yeah.
Right.
So what is your favorite preparedness item?
So for me, I would say, other than the fact that, our team all has go bags, right? So it's easy for us to grab a bag and it has, 100 of your best items on the inside. But I would say probably number one for me is really a flint striker, to be able to create fire and the ability for light, for safety, for cooking purposes, for warmth. There's a lot of other items that I have, but that without the ability to have that fire, there's a lot of things that you can't do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm Tita Montero. Hi, I'm Robin Montero, and we're the Montero sisters. What's your number one thing that you're going to grab before you go in an emergency? Tita?
You know what, Robin? The first thing that comes to mind for me is money. But if you don't have, if there's nothing around, you can't spend your money.
Yeah, that's deserts in the diamond.
Yeah,
or diamond in the desert.
Yeah, the next thing that rose its head for me was water and blankets.
Well, if you don't already have one, your go bag, and everything should be inside that go bag, including dry shoes, a Mylar poncho, money, batteries, lip gloss if you need it.
You're going to come to my house and help me put my go bag together.
I would be happy to.
Hi, I'm Emily Riley, and I'm from OSU Extension Service in Clatsop and Columbia County. Today I brought a bunch of stuff to talk to people about food preservation and food safety, because those are both two really important parts of being prepared for an emergency. I think a lot of people are surprised to learn how much they can do themselves. So many people are nervous about using pressure canners and drying their own foods and knowing how long to keep foods, or if their freezer goes out and how long they get to keep that food. And so just having a little bit of that information at your fingertips and knowing how to assess your food for its safety is so important, and it's pretty easy.
I love it. I love it. All right, so Emily, what is your favorite emergency preparedness item?
My favorite emergency preparedness item related to food preservation and food security is a thermometer. Right? So, because you can put a thermometer in your fridge, you can put a thermometer in your freezer, and you will know if your freezer goes out what temperature it is. It's also really important, if your food might be going a little bad, to have a thermometer to make sure that you get that food hot enough to kill anything that might be in it.
My name's Anna. I am a volunteer with the American Red Cross, and we're here to participate in this great emergency preparedness fair.
Very cool. And what are you hoping to teach people?
I think I want to get people thinking about the items that they might need in an emergency, and also that a lot of the stuff that they need is probably lying around their house and ready to be put into a bag.
Excellent point. What is your favorite emergency preparedness item?
I think for me, I love the animal items. I think it's something we don't think about as often, but we love our pets as much as we love our family. So, I think that's an important thing to remember to throw into your kit.
So like a pet safety kit. So talk to us about that. What is in the pet safety kit?
So we like to put in canned foods for the animals. They love them. They're a high yield meal. They'll eat them. They have very clear, long shelf lives, so you don't need to replace them very often. And also an extra leash, because if you're moving fast, you might not have time to grab leashes or halters.
All right, that's very smart. Plus, this canned food that has a lot of the hydration component.
Yeah, definitely.
We really appreciate Red Cross being here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Tom.
Hi, Tom. Thank you so much for being here. Who are you representing today?
So I'm with the Oregon Department of Emergency Management. I work out here in the northwest part of Oregon as a regional coordinator, and I focus on preparedness and response activities.
Very cool. And so what did you bring us today?
So today is all about understanding NOAA weather radio. So that is a free service that our federal partners at National Weather Service help to deliver to communities throughout the country. And a lot of folks will purchase radios expecting to use them during emergencies to receive important information, especially if there are power outages, road disruptions, just sort of a stoppage to routine life as we know it. But the NOAA weather radios don't come necessarily ready to work out of the box. And so there is a little bit of intentionality to program them to the right frequency for your nearest transmission site. And then what county you live in, they can also break it down so you only receive messages for your county. So if you live well within your county's boundaries, you may only want your county, but if you live near a county line, you may also want the county next door. And so we can program both codes so you get both counties' alert messages about severe weather and other important information.
That's so helpful, Tom, because sometimes we look at those radios and we think, gosh, I really want to use this. How do I make best use of it? It's a little bit complicated for some of us. So here's my final question for you. What is your favorite preparedness item?
My favorite preparedness item? Honestly, a bottle of water, because I will start to get dehydrated before I realize it, and it helps just to have that basic necessity fulfilled to help me either continue on what I'm doing outside, or if it's time to turn back, to know that I'm going to be able to make it back without a sweat, literally and figuratively.
Yes.
I'm Kathy Turner, and I'm with the Clatsop County CERT organization, and I'm a volunteer. So I participate in the monthly meetings, and we find out about the activities that are coming up in the next month. This month happens to be the preparedness fair or event, And but we do other things. I went for flagger training so that I could participate in parades, help with traffic, help with the barriers, so that you know what you're doing. You don't get hurt, and no one else gets hurt. Or at the Easter event in Warrenton. So we do different events that we participate in as a volunteer to help the police and fire departments.
Why is it important to do those events now as a volunteer?
So those events help you learn how to be a team, and with both our paid responders as well as other volunteers, and to help our communities. So our paid staff in the fire and police department get to focus on more important things while we help with the traffic or the pedestrians or help identify issues. But the other thing is to be prepared for flood or fire or tsunami, earthquake, and be a responder in your community to help locally. So it's first at your area and then to respond back into the bigger group. The other thing is I did get my ham license so that we can communicate better.
What other training do you need to become a CERT volunteer?
There's FEMA training online for volunteers, so you can take those classes. But they also provide other classes. We did one called Stop the Bleed. So if someone's bleeding, you can actually help until a responder gets there. Or fire safety, or safety at the ocean. So you know what to do in case you see someone in a riptide.
What is your favorite preparedness item?
It's the Mylar blankets.
Tell me why.
You can use them for all kinds of things, including keeping your feet dry and warm. If it's raining really bad, you can use them to collect water. If you need water, you can set them up as a tent. So the coat, whatever you need them for. They're sort of like the multi-purpose item that you can have.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I'm CJ Bell, and I'm with Clatsop County CERT. Used to be Astoria CERT. Now we've combined, which I think is going to make us really strong. Here today to help out with the emergency fair, and we are also welcoming younger people to get involved. Anyone that is interested.
What is your favorite emergency preparedness item?
I would have to say the backpacks that they have come out with. So the little pockets, the easy access. And then I do feel that the emergency blanket, because it's so small, it really can do you good.
Tell me a little bit more about CERT. What does CERT do?
Community Emergency Response Team. It helps in an emergency from communications to getting people out of houses to stopping the bleed, basically. So whatever's needed at the time.
And how do you get deployed?
Well, a real emergency. And they will call us. And now that we're together as a larger group, I feel like we're going to be able to cover more ground, because you don't know which town you're going to be in. So we kind of need to get used to all of them. So
yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Thank you to everyone who came out to the Get Ready event, whether as a participant or a community member. We hope you are a little more prepared.